Hello everyone, how are you? A big heavy topic today. I'm already feeling it, but I'm going to talk about it. Again, this is the sex magic school, and we can never actually create sacred union, and we can never really understand sacred sexuality before we understand magic. And because they're all connected, sex is magic in so many different ways. And we cannot understand magic until we understand black magic and the way it is being used against us every single minute of our lives. We can never take our freedom back if we do not truly understand magic and sex. All right, so this is a topic I've been talking about for so long: child pornography, child slavery, pedophilia, human trafficking. And I'm already apologizing for being emotional in this video. Not that I'm apologizing for being emotional, but I will try not to let it take me off my center as I speak these words. But I am fucking emotional, and you should be too. And if you're not emotional about this topic, then I honestly don't want you on this channel. This is not the place for you. If you do not give a shit about this world, about children, about what's happening in this world, this is not the place for you. So the latest scandal, and this is not the only scandal. We've had millions of these scandals. The truth has been shattered in our faces many times, but people go off, about it for a day or two and then forget about it. Hopefully this will, it seems to kind of like rattled a few more people than usual. So hopefully this is a good wake-up call. But Balenciaga is a major fashion company. I never heard about this fashion company before this. I don't give a shit about fashion. I'm sorry, I just don't give a shit about brands and big corporation company names. I do not give a shit about it. They recently had a huge scandal about images from their campaign for 2023. They took off these pictures, of course. They apologized. They even tried to sue the artist, which is ridiculous. Not that the artist is a saint, but they tried to sue and to take all responsibility away from them. Oh, we didn't know. It's ridiculous. And so I encourage you to go check out these images of their, once we talk about the images, you will know exactly what images we're talking about. I don't want to show the pictures here of the children themselves. It is obscene. It is horrific and evil, and you feel the energy from just looking at these pictures that this is, what is wrong? What is wrong with our society? Seriously, I am really worried. What is wrong? If this is what we deem beautiful in art, this is fashion? What the F? Anyway, I believe we actually need to stop posting pictures of our children on social media even. This is my opinion, because we're just putting our precious, our precious little children that are still connected to source, and they're in this beautiful sacred space yet untainted. We're tainting their energy by showing their picture to everyone, and it's so wrong. I know a lot of you know me, but I do not like when people post pictures of their babies and children on social media. This is not okay. I don't want to see that. It's not okay. Protect your children. Protect them energetically. Protect them from predators. Just let them be. They don't, when they see their picture on social media these days, they grow up with social media. They don't know what this is. They don't understand. They don't understand what kind of psychos can look at their pictures. Okay, but moving on. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. This is pissing me off. So I just, when talking about the pictures from, the pictures we're talking about here from this Balenciaga company, whatever, I really wonder where the parents were, that of these children, if they allowed this to happen. They should not be parents. They, and I had a video on this a long time ago, actually say, I think it was called, we should stop having babies or something like that, because we really should. Most human beings are not meant to be parents. They don't have a bone of being a mother and a father in their body. Not to mention they're coming, not in sacred unions, they're coming, together with the people who are not, they're not in a sacred union with each other, just from an ego space, just from a shadow space, and they're bringing more children into more trauma, into more pain, and this goes on and on. We really need to protect our children. We don't need to have more babies, but we need to be loving and nurturing and protectors for the children that are already here. So let's talk about the images of this campaign. Oh my God. So I looked a little bit, on internet about this company. We're going to talk about the campaign. We're going to talk about the artist that shot the campaign, which is, oh my God, a horrific person. We're going to talk about demons and Satanism as well, and understand how these forces work. And so let's begin talking about the images. So the images have many subliminal messages and symbolism within them. As always, this is just another public satanic rituals that they push in our faces, and we will explore why they do this. We already explored many different, it's literally happening all the time, guys. This is not new. Like in every, pop culture, music, video, and show, and all the, what do you call that thing that they do. You see how bad I am. Don't even remember the Super Bowl. I forgot even the name of Super Bowl. We are literally, and not to mention TV show, movies, like music, it's everywhere, like fashion industry, everywhere, social media, bombarded by ritualistic black magic, occult symbolism and rituals that are done in our faces, and we'll understand why it's done and how we cannot participate in it consciously, choose not to participate in it. So this company, their fashion shows, I saw like a couple of their fashion shows videos, and they, in my opinion, because I also see energetics, it's fucking horrific. It's horrific. I don't know how people see this as beautiful or as art. This is horrific to me. The energy is insane. The energy is just highly intense and evil and dangerous, and it's just, I couldn't even look at it for more. I just couldn't. I just kind of scrolled into, So I saw one of them. They had like a bruised baby doll, right? So it's a baby, looks like a baby, and it's bruised on their faces. What? Really? This is fashion? And then there's like baby bags, these models that are, again, these models themselves were extremely sexually confused and dressed in order to confuse people about their sexuality, and holding like baby bags, right? And covered in blood. Yeah, this is not, I'm sorry. If you do not see that this is a black magic ritual right in front of your face, this disguised as a fashion show, yeah, no, this is very highly distorted. And there's a lot of that, by the way, within all the fashion industry, again, and entertainment industry. This is just one example that people kind of notice because it was very bluntly in our faces. So those main images, they show bondage bears with like literally BDSM bondages on them, held by children, standing with a bunch of items around them, specific chosen items in specific order, paintings, child paintings of demons in the background, alcohol containers, which are, again, they're always a part of a black magic rituals. And also there was a printout. This is the big kind of clue, which, we don't even need this clue in order to see this is wrong, but a printout of a Supreme Court ruling on whether or not internet child porn can be legally considered free speech. Wow. In one image, they accidentally misspelled their name, like their company name, right? So within the name, it was, instead of B-A-L, it was B-A-A-L. And those of you who know a little bit about the occult know what this means. I'm not scared to say the name. I'm not scared of any idol or demon They have no power at all. Even if I speak their name, they have no power because I don't give them power. But I will tell you that Hebrew word, Baal is a Hebrew word, means husband actually, or owner. So it means owner / husband, just so if you want to know what the meaning of the actual word is. So Baal is an idol worshipped, and who has been demanding children for eons because he's been worshipped for a very, very, very long time as sacrifice. He is not a god. He's not a demon even. We also have to understand that demons are not God, and they're not this powerful creature who's going to give you all your riches. And I mean, yes, with so much I want to explain about this, and we're going to go over it later. But actually, let me continue because we're going to go over this later. So, and I want to be focused because, again, I'm also very emotional right now, and I want to acknowledge that. So just to say, they have no power. And what was I gonna say? Yeah, and we already, some of you already know that this specific entity, thought form, is worshipped by many of the elite and occult people on this planet. There is also a picture of it with a child with red shoes, and red shoes is also, by the way, a huge symbolism of the occult. You can check that out. They're also, and all the people who wear red shoes within the occult, within this symbolism, you can be sure that they have murdered a child and raped a child or two. And so the shoe is also kind of showing like a demonic face of like a demon or something. There's basically, these images show so many symbolism. It's ridiculous. In another image of their campaign, of Spring 23 campaign, Isabel Huppert, which I'm not in the fashion industry, so I don't fucking know who she is, and I didn't research it. I'm assuming she's part of this company or she's something in the fashion industry. I don't know. She's something. But basically she's in this campaign and she sits in front of a stack of books, including one that celebrates Michael Boremans. I don't care telling his name correctly. He's a painter. You can check out his work. It's pretty disturbing, to say the least. He's a painter whose work is known to include depictions of castrated toddlers, and I've seen it, and I can't shake that image out of my head. It is absolutely evil. So this artist also, other work includes his 2017 series Fire from the Sun, which features castrated toddlers and babies holding what look like severed limbs while playing together nude in a large group. These are the people that not we, but some idiotic people respect and give money to and consider artistic and brilliant and successful within our... What the fuck? How did we get here? I mean, I know how we got here. We got manipulated by dark magic, but, let's continue. So, I mean, listen, in my opinion, no one should even consider buying or pushing a brand or a company that uses children in pornographic images with BDSM and sexual symbols. That's just me. Even if you care about fashion, which is your freedom, you can love fashion still, but I hope you can at least be aware of the blatant attempt to push pedophilia and distorting sexual energy and the masculine and the feminine powers, and making men into highly feminine, distorted feminine, not just feminine, but distorted feminine, and turning women into this distorted dark masculine form. I see it all the time in the fashion industry. I am disgusted by it. Disgusted. And no, just to be clear, I am not speaking about homosexuality, which is a natural inclination that we have. I respect every homosexual on the planet. This is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a specific, a targeted attempt to destroy our power and destroy men and destroy women. This is pure distortion, and this is black magic. Black magic is distortion. It takes light and it distorts it. Because it doesn't have a power, and so it has to take something true and something real and something light and distort it and reverse it. This is pure black magic. Everything we're seeing with this gender war and You know, so many men wanting to be women, so many women wanting to be men, again, in distorted ways. This is black magic. And no, again, I am not against transgenderism on its own. It is a natural, a natural expression that someone might have chosen to come into this life with. I am targeting, I am against this exact manipulation and target, which transgender people are also victims of. So it's sad for me. And not all of them, of course, but haven't you asked yourself why there are so many transgender people, or should I say children now? And why it is being pushed constantly? Because there is an agenda there. So, let's talk about this artist. This artist Jake. Apparently there were like two brothers. And you don't have to correct me if I'm wrong, even, because I don't give a shit about these people. I don't even care about if I say their name correctly, but I have no respect for them. So Jake and Dina's Chapman, they're like apparently these brothers who were like successful artists and blah, blah, blah. This is not art, by the way. I saw their art. It's not art for me. This is fucking evil and demonic and satanic and complete black magic rituals being done through what we call art, but it's not art. Anyway, they were born in the UK, blah, blah, blah. They became known as important members of the so-called Young British Artist Group. Wow. Beautiful. The visual artists became known for making work that was meant to be shocking. And in 2003, they were among the finalists for the prestigious Turner Prize. Yay, let's give them a prize, everyone. Let's give these fucking demonic pedophiles a prize. So these guys' art, which is, a joke, is highly disturbing and is blatantly evil and satanic, in my opinion. It has images of children. So they have these images of children. God, I don't even know how to. Wow. So they have these images of children with sexual organs. Instead of so they have like a penis instead of a nose, right? And they have it's so, sorry. And then some of these children also hold weapons, having these sexual organs on their faces instead of a mouth and a nose, and then holding weapons. And then this artist, so-called artist, he said, Jake, whatever, one of the horrible things he said a lot of horrible things about children, but he basically said, literally in these words, children are not human yet. And these are the people that we, as a society, respect as artists. How sick is that? And how scary. These are considered prestigious artists in our culture. This should be hopefully a wake-up call. Seriously. So let's talk about demons and Satanism right now. Aleister Crowley, which most of you hopefully know. Not that we need to mention him. He's, just another asshole. But he was very genius, but, he knew magic. He just used it in very wrong ways and taught and programmed others in very wrong ways. This is why I'm very angry at people who are teaching sacred sexuality these days in the wrong way, and they are literally programming a whole new generation of more fucked up people, more trauma, more pain, instead of healing, instead of evolving. This is why I'm angry. Because, we see what happens when we have one teacher who people worship, like Aleister Crowley, who literally created a whole generation of new Satanism who are now using his teachings and to destroy humanity. This is fucking serious, people. All right. So he said, there is no grace. There is no guilt. This is the law. Do what thou wilt. Basically, don't give a fuck about anyone. There is nothing sacred in the world. Just do what the fuck you want. This is basically his teaching. And people who really follow Satanism, the true Satanism, They have no rules. It's really all about their own ego, their own shadow, and how to feed that, and how to feed the entities who they see as gods or whatever, and get energy from that. It's just all for themselves. In the eyes of Source, in the eyes of the Mother, in the eyes of God, there is only light. Shadow is merely the absence of light. Demons may seem real, and they are in a way, but on the highest level of universal law, demons are not real, but an extended creation of humanity's shadow. So we have to understand there are many layers, dimensions to our existence. And so we are here, for example, in the 3D. We don't see the actual physical demons, although sometimes I've seen them. And then we have this ultimate reality of Source where, there is no darkness at all. It's literally just all light. But then we have all the different shades in between. And in one of this dimension, because humanity has created thought forms of these idols, right? So let's say, for example, people have created Baal, and he's an idol. He's a thought form. They created it. They kept feeding for eons and eons. And so now he is a created entity within that one of those between dimensions. And he does have power within these dimensions. But also you have to remember he doesn't have any power unless you feed him, unless you connect to his energy with all of these demands that he has, which the main one is child sacrifice. Not the only one, but it's the main one. That's how they're being fed. So that is why, again, we must never be afraid of demons, because in fact, at the end of the day, they're just thought forms that have been fed by our shadows collectively and individually. They don't exist. They do, but they don't. Every idol has their own rules, all right? And this is, the word idol also pay attention to, because we also use it within our modern society a lot, right? We call celebrities idols, right? It's really dangerous to have idols. Don't have any idol in your life. None. Every idols have their own rules, their own symbols, sigils, and demands for offering or sacrifice. The one that some considered the highest power within this fucked up dark world is, Baal, whatever, and he demands the blood of children. Not just the blood, but the fear, the torture, the pain of children. Also, the amount of energy and attention one gives this kind of blood magic and ritual is immense. Think about how much energy and resources you have to put into creating such a ritual, right? Of getting the children and torturing them before and doing horrific things. And also another thing, the Baal and other idols that most of us don't even know, because they also have idols that we don't even know about, just so you know. And their demands are not just for the blood and the suffering of the victims. It is for, and we're going to talk more about more stuff, but is for the distortion of humanity's power, because they can be fed easier. When I am not in my divine feminine, they can feed off of me a lot. When I'm in my distorted sexuality, especially these days when you see such a high rise, unnatural rise in children who want to change their sex on a very young age, and that our society is actually helping them and the government's paying for it. That is fucked up beyond words. All right. There is no protection for the children. Notice what the fuck is happening. We're not protecting our children. We're not doing a good job. So the amount of energy that you have to, in order just to prepare for this kind of ritual, is huge. And it's feeding that entity already, even before the ritual started. If you understand the energetics of it, it's insane. These idols who are now, because we have created and fed them, are now existing in their own frequency and dimension, like I mentioned. One of the things they need, and is also a quality that we have developed in our own human psyche, which is highly dangerous, is to get as many followers as they can. So they want a lot of followers, right? They need it. They need more. For them, it's not the quality, it's the quantity. They need more. And notice, obviously you've noticed this, that this is what we do today within our modern society. People are so obsessed with how many followers and how many likes they have. So we're taking on qualities of that entity on ourselves because we're connected to these entities knowingly or not knowingly. Again, when you're consuming animals, flesh and blood of animals, when you're having sex with everyone unconsciously, when you're drinking lots of alcohol and taking like low frequency drugs, you are connecting to these entities whether you like it or not. And you are taking upon their qualities. Pay attention. Please know the truth. Don't be afraid, but know the truth and pay attention and shift it once you realize where you're at. Okay? Stop worrying how many followers you have. Stop it. It doesn't matter how many likes you have. I don't give a shit how many likes I have. In fact, when I started this YouTube video, I was so against it. I was so resistant to it. Oh my God, I remembered my resistance. And I asked the universe, please don't give me a lot of followers. I want just the small, right, good, loving, brave people to hear the message. I don't want a follower. I don't want a like. I just want people to hear the message. Don't care about followers. It doesn't matter. You should not care about followers. Even if it's a business you're having online, you want the right people. You want to ask for the people that you can serve in the best possible way. Because you can have 1 million followers and not one client, even if you're having a business online. It doesn't matter. It's all a lie. You are here. If you are on a highest path, you want to serve. You want to share your gifts and serve. Hopefully, truth and love and light, and not more chaos and BS. All right. So again, their powers is in numbers, in life force and energy. That's why they keep wanting more and more and more and more and more. There are many influencers and celebrities who promote specific idol. You can see, again, symbolism. If you understand symbolism, you will see it everywhere. And they are mostly successful, right, on the 3D world. Like, you would look, oh, they're famous, they're celebrities, everything is successful for them. And they get lots of followers. They don't care about the low frequency that they're creating. They're creating so much low frequency. They're not serving anyone. There's no high service of anyone. Just their ego. Just nothing else. And the entity that they serve. So be careful of this quality in you. Notice if you have that quality of wanting a lot of people to notice you and like followers and likes. Notice that. Notice and pay attention. All right? I'm not saying anything is wrong with you. I'm just saying notice. Be aware. See if it's coming from a high place in you. All right? This is why I was, I told you, like, I was very resistant for my own channel. It took, even after I started my channel and I wrote it took me a while to like put my Instagram on again, like activate it, because I'm like, I don't like Instagram. And my friend was like really helping me with, oh, you need Instagram. Like, okay, cool. I use it as a tool. I like it. I actually like it now because I can use it as a tool to spread my word. I still don't like a lot of followers. I don't want them. I love you guys, but I want the right people because this is not for everyone. Okay, so thank you for bearing with me if you're still here. I know that you probably can feel my emotions through this, but I'm doing my best, guys. All right. Let me see. When humans idolize certain entities or thought forms, they feed them and bring them more and more into life in the 3D reality. This is why the people we deem as important and famous in our world keep feeding us through media and entertainment these images, symbols, and subconscious subliminal messages of these idols and the world they need to have in order to be kept fed. Because again, let me just finish just reading this. When we stop using the images of these idols, they will not exist any longer. Because they are not real and they have no power. They need to feed off. Let me stop here for a second and say something. So this is why we see such a huge distortion of sexuality in our world. It is because that has been programmed for the last few years by media and all of this. It is because these demonic entities need the distortion. They actually are wanting to come into this world, and they have been successful in many different ways. They are already fully living, hosting human bodies. I have seen it. I know this to be true. You can believe me or not. And I think that some of you are already noticing that. The CERN portals that have been open. If you don't know about CERN, also something to explore. Don't just read about it. Also connect to your higher self and see if this resonates with you. This is time to be discerning of our own truth, right? I'm just giving you more aspects of reality right now. But I want you to find your own truth and your own power. That's the fucking point. And so this is why they want to create a world where, you know, sacred union is destroyed, marriage is destroyed. This is our true power, right? Now, I'm not talking about the old kind of marriage. I'm not talking about the distorted kind of marriage that we've had until now. I'm talking about true soul union. And, you know, again, destruction of our sexuality, destruction of the true sexual alchemy that two people can have, destruction of the family unit. Pay attention to destruction of the family unit. It is systematically happening. Because they want to create a world, an actual 3D world, where that is such a low frequency that these demons can actually live and sustain themselves in. I really need you to remember this. This is huge. Don't be afraid of it. Just be aware. Magic is being used against us, whether we like it or not. We need to have the knowledge. Counterparted, is that what you say? Counterparted with light, with love, with light magic. So again, and these entities, they need to feed off of children first, mostly, because they are the closest frequency to source. They're so, you know, in their purest form, especially kind of before the age of 6 and 7, 6, 7, 8, something like that. And they're the most powerful creatures energetically. And then they need women, again, the womb holders, the connection to source, powerful energetically. Because they feed off of the blood, but they mostly feed off of the energy. And so, and they destroy divine masculinity. They destroy men on this planet, making them fear and hate women and distorting their view on femininity, and mostly destroying the men's connection to their heart, which is their power center. And what's happening? We have no true leaders, no leaders that are leading from the heart, that actually care about the people that they're leading, and we don't have protectors. We don't have divine masculine. We need divine masculine. I always say this. We need you, man, to be in your divine masculine. We need it like breath of fresh air. Like, we need you like air. We need you to wake the fuck up. Seriously, we need divine, loving, heart-centered protectors. Not killers, not murderers, not, oh, I'm going to go hunt a bear. No. We need someone who's going to go hug a fucking bear. That's a real man. All right? Yeah, a real man doesn't like show up in front of a bear with a gun. A real man hugs a bear, and there are plenty of men who hug a bear, and you can go check them out on YouTube videos. Don't tell me that I'm making this up, because there are. Okay, so, and I actually met one of them. I actually met a man like that. It was amazing. Okay, so the amount of cruelty, like, oh, and I'm sorry, I wanted to say one more thing. We should not fear the demons. I want you to get this clear. You should never be afraid of demons. Demons have no power. None. We feed them with power. And especially if you don't believe they even exist, right? But the people who worship them, the amount of spirit and heart distortion and disconnection these people have, the amount of cruelty, disconnection to anything but their own shadow is scary. So, yeah, you shouldn't be afraid of demons, but we should be afraid of giving our power and money and energy to these people who are worshiping these demons. So stop having idols. Stop following them on social media and like worshiping them, because they're nothing. They only think about themselves, and they're hurting so many others along the way. Especially this new generation of, like, you know, we have celebrities who literally do nothing. They're just famous for nothing, for not giving nothing to the world. Nothing, not even entertainment, just nothing. It's empty. So let's talk about the golden rule. So, which is, for me, I want to talk about Christ consciousness, right? So I'm going to mention Jesus, yes, but it's not about Jesus. Jesus is a symbol of Christ consciousness. And Jesus, again, which is symbolic of this, symbolic of Christ consciousness, of the evolved, awakened human who is guided by the heart, again, because Jesus was all about heart activation, and has an activated heart center. He basically, this symbol, Jesus, this man, whether you believe he was a real person or not, I don't believe he was a real person, but as a symbol, yes, he's very real, because again, we fed that symbol, we fed that idol for so long, we created it. So now, yes, Jesus is real within certain dimension. It goes the same for demons or angels, right? Like if we feed a thought form, a symbol, they become real eventually within a certain dimension. So basically what he taught is that we should all do to others what we want to be done to us, right? Unlike the satanic rule of do what the fuck you want, no matter the consequences to anyone else. Here we have the healthy, loving way of seeing others as a part of you and treating them as such. It is a path of maturity and connection, compassion and awareness. It is an evolved path where the individual knows their connection to all life. When we hurt another, we are hurting ourselves. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to take a sip of water. So I was a little sick for like a week. So, okay, I'm back. So the Christ consciousness, again, it's an evolved path where the individual knows their connection to all life. When we hurt another, we are hurting ourselves. When we think animals have no soul and we can hurt them, we are literally consuming and hurting a part of ourselves. We go against the golden rule of this universe. When we wish someone pain, we bring it upon ourselves. This is all black magic. If we never take others under consideration, we are literally using a form of black magic, because we are not embodying the Christ consciousness, the elevated consciousness of who we really are, the true source of who we really are, which is love, because love is the only real thing. And no, I don't like to use these fluffy sentences, but this one is really true. And of course we can dissect it, but love, that light, is the only true real thing. The shadow needs the light's power, and distorts it in order to feed itself and to survive. Satanists serve only themselves. Even if they worship an idol and give it a sacrifice, at the end it is only their own selfish needs they serve, just like the demon they worship. Now I wanna just say something, because the word Satanism is a little complicated within our world. It shouldn't be that complicated, but I am aware that there are different groups of people who have been created within the years. Excuse me, oh my god, I'm still like waiting for my voice to come back. And they have created forms of Satan. They call it Satanism, but they don't actually act on the real kind of dark black magic Satanism. So here I'm talking about the form of black magic. So I don't want to offend anyone. I know everyone gets offended today, blah, 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 but you know what I'm talking about. Okay. So again, even if they worship an idol or give it sacrifice, at the end it is only their own selfish needs that they serve, just like the demon they worship. We talked about before, like when you are actually connected to a certain thought form or idol, you are going to embody some of their essence. An awakened soul serves a higher purpose, lives in compassion and love towards others. So really observe and be honest and ask yourself. These are some questions to ask yourself, guys. How do you live in your life? Like what are your values? First of all, do you serve a much higher purpose than yourself, or you serve just yourself? And be very, very brutally honest. I know a lot of people within the spiritual community who truly believe that they serve a higher purpose. They want to believe, but really, in reality, they are only serving themselves. So it's a matter of true authenticity and honesty within yourself. Are you focused on like getting a lot of followers, right? Or being worshipped? Or are you focused on spreading love and truth? And there's also a thin line here too, because a lot of people also think, oh, I want a lot of followers so I can spread a lot of light and truth. But be very honest with yourself. You really got to be honest with yourself here. Okay, this is your work to do with yourself. I'm just asking you some questions. Are you too focused on brands, logos, external idols, or do you worship the mother, source, God, love itself. Which really, the mother, God, they don't need to be worshipped. They don't want to be worshipped, as opposed to idols or demon thought forms or things like that. They just need your love. They just need you to feel and awaken to your love. I hope this helped. I hope this was, helped in some way. Mostly, I hope it helped the children, and I hope we can create a better world for them. Because this is sad, people. This is sad that we are living in a world like this. And this is just one tiny example of the shit that we're living in, of this cesspool of shit that is happening all around us. I love you. I thank you for spending 40 minutes with me while I'm extremely emotional. And I'm sending you so much love. I'm sending the children so much love. I'm sending them protection. Every child deserves to go to sleep in a safe, warm bed where they know that they are loved and safe and free to be who they are. So I love you, and I wish you all the best. I'm a priestess of the temple. I'm a servant of the mother, and I pray for the awakening of all men, women, and children on planet Earth.